I just had an update with our COO Richard St. Jean earlier today, and this month looks like it's going to be great. Putting up fantastic numbers, just continuing to see lots of people willing to come out and game at our facilities, and yeah, things are continuing to look really great.
That's great. Now, how about this variant? Does that worry you at all?
Yeah, there is always some concern. Even as things were improving, you're kind of everything we've been through. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're kind of waiting for something else to come along. The only thing my main concern about the variant is the lack of the continued push for vaccinations. It seems like we've kind of leveled off in California and a number of other states that kind of that initial push has really gone away. And so I think that's going to be one of the really only ways we combat this thing.
Yeah, and the vaccinations are definitely the key to keeping this on track. Tell me a little bit about the flow of customers. Is it the same demographics, or are you seeing other new faces?
We're seeing a lot of new faces. When we first reopened last year in May, for that first 6 to 8 months, we've seen a lot of new customers, a lot of first-time customers, a lot of uncarded play. That was kind of the norm. We've seen some of our more established customers come back recently, but even the kind of ethnic breakdown has been really different than we've seen before. Before we had a lot of the Asian American clientele, and they've been probably the slowest group to come back to kind of gaming overall. We started to see more of them in the last month, but you mentioned the Delta variant and the kind of concern that's causing. So we'll see if those trends continue or if there's going to be kind of a step backwards. But yeah, we've had a lot of kind of new gamers, people who maybe aren't regular gamblers at all, but especially when the shutdown is more stringent, we were one of the few offerings as far as entertainment and hospitality in the States. So we had a lot of kind of first-time customers come out during that time.
That's great. And do you think that this trend will continue in terms of the surge that we're having right now?
I am unsure. I'm hoping that it doesn't. I'm hoping that it's going to get curbed out and people are going to start taking it more seriously. I do think part of it has to do with a lot of the different mandates that have been lifted. You see less and less people wearing masks. You see less and less social distancing. I think bringing the mask mandate back, I think would be a big step forward in kind of curbing this before it gets out of control and there has to be a more severe lockdown. I think masks are something we can kind of live with, and especially if it's going to ensure that in the fall and the winter we're going to really be able to get back to normal. If we could do masks for another couple months and squash this variant and get it out of the way, we can move forward. But I'm hopeful it doesn't get to the stages it was last year, where we have these severe lockdowns and the numbers of infections and deaths are just continuing to climb. But time will tell, and I know that's just my feeling. That's what I'm hoping for, but who knows how this will go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you guys are ready for anything, right? You've had those discussions. Yeah,
absolutely. We've kind of run the gamut as far as how strict our safety policies have been, and then easing back up, kind of almost back to normal. And now we have that full kind of gamut of every option available to us. And our team's done a great job. And if something happened and we needed to go back to the highest level of safety protocols, we could do it in an instant.
Yeah. It's all kind of planned out, and that's what we need. We need to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah, James. In terms of the hiring issues, you still having those?
We are, unfortunately, we are. We just tried to do a virtual job fair. We have hundreds of positions open currently. And so we did that, and we've gone so far as to currently we're offering kind of like a sign-up bonus for new employees. You come in, you apply for a job, you're qualified, you get the job. We're going to give you $1,000 up front to welcome you to the Morongo team as a new employee. And hopefully that trend has helped, and that new kind of kind of approach has helped, and we've been able to secure a few new employees, upwards of almost 100 new employees. But we'll see if that's going to be able to continue to be successful. I know that the state unemployment benefits in California are set to end at the end of September. So I think that is going to aid in our employment needs and kind of our employment crisis that we're having. But short of that, I'm not sure what more we can do. I know our operations team has kind of put all their efforts into the employment issue right now and trying to really let people know about the robust packages we provide, not just financially, but the healthcare we provide. And that's been a big topic for a lot of people the last 18 months. And our healthcare package is as robust as any other gaming facility in the country. So we'd really try to talk that up. And I'm hopeful we'll be able to fill all those positions soon.
James, do you think it's a matter of price? Do you think that when people start, paying more hourly, that more people are going to come back?
I think that's part of it. I also think there's some people who, while at first they were uncomfortable going back to work because of COVID, because of the kind of unknowns, and they were collecting the unemployment benefits, I think a lot of people are comfortable now staying at home, collecting unemployment, and not having to go back to work. And I think there will be a sector of employees who don't come back to work until they're forced to come back to work, until those unemployment benefits end, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that it's going to be a progression, and it in the end, it's going to resolve itself. James, overall, how do you feel about everything that's going on?
Overall, I feel good. It's been it's a strange time, to say the least, but even this vacation that I'm on, this is really the first big trip I've taken anywhere with my family. And so just trying to get over the kind of anxiety over doing things that seem to be normal, like taking your kids to a park or taking your kids to do like a normal activity that shouldn't raise suspicion or make you feel nervous about their safety, like going to take my kids in the afternoon to get like an ice cream as a treat or something. But being able to feel safe and know that like me and my wife are fully vaccinated, there's people wearing masks, like knowing more about how the virus spreads and those short interactions aren't really contributing to the spread of it, but just getting kind of back to normal and things like that has been difficult. And I think that's true of a lot of other people. And so I think you want to be comfortable doing things, but then again, you don't want to be reckless with your choices and what you're doing. So I think you're still trying to find that medium and that fine line in between. But again, just trying to get over those anxieties of the bubble we've been in for the last 18 months. And we got to get back to normal sometime.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, it's strange. We recently went on a couple of trips, and you wear your mask, and then you look around, and then nobody's wearing masks, and you take it off, and then sometimes you're wearing your mask, or sometimes you don't know if you need to shake a hand with someone or still do the elbow bump. It's life has become a little awkward, and like you said, with your kids, when you go out, you're concerned, right? So there's a little bit of trepidation, but I think everything is going well. I think we're moving in the right direction. James, it's always great to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to having you back on.
Of course.